Greetings. Welcome back to Hellhound's Late Night Spook Show, Creature Feature, Shockathon, Scarorama, and Screamo-Vision here on the Horror and Metal channel. I hope everybody had a good Star Wars day yesterday. Yeah, may the Force be with you and all that. The last video I did, we looked at my Scooby-Doo DVD collection. Raggy! Help! So if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, check that out. I figured I'd also announce that I got my concert tickets. I'll be seeing Megadeth in October later this year, and I'll be seeing Iron Maiden in I'll be seeing Megadeth in September and Iron Maiden in October. I can't freaking wait. I'm so pumped. So I'll definitely be making a video for each one of those concerts, talking about the experience. Yeah, it's going to be freaking sick. So anyway, alright, so this is going to be the ABCs of Horror. And I guess it will be a tag video, but I'm not going to tag anybody directly by name, because I know some of my friends don't do tag videos anymore, so I'm just going to leave it open. Anybody wants to do it. Basically, it's just, the ABCs of Horror. Your favorite movie for each letter of the alphabet. So, alright, so this is going to be my list. Let's go ahead and get started. ABCs of Horror. Alright, A is for American Werewolf in London. Yeah, it was a tough choice between this and Army of Darkness, but I went with this one overall. So, yeah, great movie. Probably my favorite werewolf movie, right there with The Howling and Silver Bullet and The Wolfman and Curse the Werewolf. Yeah, great movie. It's scary and funny. It perfectly blends humor and horror, and it's just a lot of fun. And amazing transformation effects too, of course. So yeah, American Werewolf in London is gonna be my favorite movie my favorite horror movie for the letter A. All right, and then B is for Bride of Frankenstein. This is my favorite Universal monster movie. Yeah, the black and white classics. And it's one of the best sequels ever made. I think it does definitely surpass its predecessor. I think it is better than the original Frankenstein. Yeah, I love the cast. I love Colin Clive as Dr. Henry Frankenstein. Of course, Boris Karloff is the monster. And especially Ernest Thesiger as Dr. Pretorius. Great villain. Of course, Elsa Lanchester as the bride. And Mary Shelley. Yeah, great sequel. And like I said, my favorite Universal monster movie, Bride of Frankenstein. It's awesome. It's my favorite horror movie for the letter B. All right, I'm just going to go through the rest of these kind of quickly, okay? Alright, so C is for Child's Play, the original movie in the Chucky franchise, directed by Tom Holland and starring Chris Sarandon and Brad Dourif as the killer doll. Everybody's favorite evil toy. Child's Play, the first installment of the awesome Chucky franchise. Favorite horror movie for the letter C. Alright, then D is for Dawn of the Dead, one of the best zombie movies ever made, and the second in George A. Romero's groundbreaking Dead trilogy. Love it. It's a masterpiece. E is for Evil Dead 2, my favorite horror sequel of all time. Bruce Campbell returns as Ash, and he's even way more badass this time around. It becomes the wisecracking, one-liner spitting, chainsaw-armed, shotgun-toting action hero that we all know and love. Yeah. Evil Dead 2, directed by the great Sam Raimi. Love this movie. F is for, you're probably expecting one of the Friday the 13th movies, but no, it's actually going to be Fright Night, my favorite vampire movie. This is also directed by Tom Holland, like Child's Play, and starring Chris Sarandon as well. I talked about this movie ad nauseum and even did a re-review on my channel somewhat recently, so check that out for more info. I'm glad to finally have this Blu-ray because it contains the making of documentary featurette You're So Cool Brewster, which I couldn't find anywhere before that. Then I found out it was on this Blu-ray, so very glad to have that. All kinds of great bonus features, interviews with the cast, reunions, panels, Q&A, of course trailers, commentaries, lots of commentaries. A tribute to Roddy McDowall, who played Peter Vincent, another one of my favorite characters. Great cast, very fun movie. It's so 80s. It's very, very funny. Pretty scary, too. Some genuinely creepy, suspenseful scenes. And, my favorite vampire movie, Fright Night. Love it. G is for The Gate. Really fun little monster movie. It's PG-13, but it doesn't really hold back too much. It doesn't feel really, really watered down. Yeah, it's a couple kids. They discover a pit in their backyard, which turns out to actually be the gate to hell, and all kinds of little demons and other monsters and various evils emerge from it. Yeah, pretty cool movie. Really fun. I like it a lot. Great special effects too. H is for, of course, Halloween, obviously. Were you expecting anything else? Yeah, John Carpenter's original 1978 masterpiece with the mysterious serial killer Michael Myers, who's pursued by the great Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, and of course he stalks Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. I've already talked about this movie ad nauseum on this channel. What can I say? It's my favorite horror movie ever made, and it's friggin' awesome. It's a flawless masterpiece. A solid 10 out of 10. Love it. Definitely my favorite horror movie that starts with the letter H. That was a no-brainer. That's probably the easiest one on this whole list. And if the letter I is going to have to be It. I love the 1990 TV miniseries with Tim Curry as well, but I think we're going to give this one the edge because it's just a little closer to the book overall, and I think it is definitely scarier. Though it's very close. As I said, it's still way more nostalgic for the 1990 version, which I have more of a soft spot for. But this one, yeah, this is a great movie as well. I really, really liked it a lot. So yeah, probably my favorite horror movie for the letter I. Though, like I said, the 1990 version comes very close. But neither are as good as the book. J is for Jeepers Creepers. Now, I would have said Jaws, but a lot of people don't consider that a horror movie. I kind of do, the first half anyway. But whatever. Jaws is obviously a lot better. But I guess this feels more like a horror movie overall. Like it's a horror movie the whole way through. Because, yeah, like I said, Jaws is debatable. So we'll just compromise and say Jeepers Creepers, which is undeniably a horror movie. Yeah, really cool looking monster. Really great cast of characters. I really like yeah, I really like all the characters here. Yeah, really cool movie. I wasn't really big on any of the sequels, but the first one's still pretty damn good. The first half is far better than the last half. The last half falls a little flat in a lot of areas. But anyway, I reviewed that before, so check that out for more info. K is for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Another really fun horror comedy with a sci-fi theme as well. Yeah, these evil alien clowns come to wrap people in cotton candy cocoons and shoot popcorn at them and make killer shadow puppets and balloon animals and imprison people in balloons, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, really, really fun, really highly amusing, enjoyable late 80s B movie. Yeah, it's just a blast. I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Easily my favorite horror movie with the letter K. L is definitely going to have to be for The Lost Boys, my second favorite vampire movie next to Fright Night. Yeah, it's a really fun movie. It's funny, it's scary, it's awesome. Yeah, great cast, great characters. Kiefer Sutherland's great as the head vampire David. Jason Patrick and Corey Haim are great as the two Emerson brothers who moved to a new town that's just infested with bloodsuckers. Yeah, really fun flick. Very satisfying watch. Very, very rewarding, I think. I love the climax. It has a very sleek, very sensual feel and an awesome soundtrack too. And great setting, great scenery. Lost Boys is friggin' amazing. Love it. M is for Maniac, probably my favorite slasher movie that isn't part of a big franchise. Yeah, the original 1980 sleazy masterpiece directed by William Lustig and starring Joe Spinell as Frank Zito, who's a very realistic serial killer. He's not Freddy, he's not Jason, he's real. And yeah, pretty gruesome, pretty disturbing stuff. Yeah, Maniac. Awesome movie. Absolutely love it. Need to get it on Blu-ray. N is for, is there any doubt, Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's original 1984 masterpiece, which features the debut of Freddy Krueger, probably the great Robert Englund, and one of my favorite final girls, Heather Langenkamp as Nancy, and of course her father, played by John Saxon. Yeah, awesome dream sequences, very creative, very imaginative premise. Yeah, Freddy's awesome, and this is probably the best movie in the whole series. It's the original and still probably the best. I do think part 3, Dream Warriors, is a lot more fun, but this one's way scarier and way more suspenseful, and probably more creative. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. Excellent movie. Obviously. O is for The Omen. I usually don't like evil kids, but I make an exception for this one. This one's done very, very well. Stars the great Gregory Peck, who's always brilliant, and the awesome music score by Jerry Goldsmith. It was written by David Seltzer and directed by, of course, Richard Donner, who did Superman the movie and Goonies and several others. Yeah, I really like the whole occult, demonic theme. Yeah, Damien is the Antichrist, the spawn of the Dark One himself. And yeah, some pretty awesome kills too. The beheading and the impaling and the scene of the graveyard is one of my favorites in the entire horror genre. Yeah, The Omen's got to be my favorite horror movie for the letter O. Check it out if you haven't already. When it came to P, that was a hard choice. There's a lot of great movies that start with P. There's Phantasm, there's Pumpkinhead, there's Puppet Master, Prom Night, Poltergeist, Predator, if that counts. Yeah, Pit and the Pendulum, Pet Cemetery. Did I already say Prom Night? The Prowler. Yeah, all kinds of great movies, the letter P, but I think it's gotta have to be Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's original masterpiece from 1960, starring the great Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates, and of course Janet Leigh as Marion Crane, with that iconic shower scene and that highly memorable, intricate twist at the end. Yeah. Psycho. What can I say? It hasn't already been said a million times. I would love to stay at the Bates Motel, but because this movie is a masterpiece, a solid 10 out of 10. I love it. Easily my favorite horror movie that starts with the letter P. All right, so for the letter Q, I guess I'm going to have to go with Q, the Winged Serpent from 1982. Pretty fun monster movie. I don't own it, yet. But I'll get it eventually. Because, I couldn't really think of any others with the letter Q. I don't know, Queen of the Damned. Let's go with Q, the Winged Serpent. But, like I said, I don't own it as of right now. So, yeah, Q is for Q, the Winged Serpent. And R, of course, has to be Return of the Living Dead, my favorite zombie movie. This movie is an absolute blast. One of my 80s favorites. 1985 is my favorite year, and this movie is a testament to why that is. Awesome makeup effects in the zombies. Awesome scenes in the graveyard. I love the cast, the young punk rockers. Of course, my buddy Linnea Quigley. And Miguel Nunez Jr. and Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th Part 6. And but I think that the old people are even cooler than the young people. We got Clu Gallagher and Don Calfa and James Karen. They're all just hilarious and just very, very enjoyable to watch. This movie's scary, it's funny, it's just a lot of fun, and it's just awesome in every way. A highly enjoyable flick. But I've talked about this one a whole lot on this channel too, and I've given it a re-review recently too, so check that out for more info. Return of the Living Dead. Love this movie. It is excellent. My favorite zombie movie. It comes to S. There's a lot of good horror movies that start with an S, too. I think it's going to have to be Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, loosely based on the excellent Stephen King novel. Of course, stars Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance and Shelley Duvall as his wife Wendy, and Danny Lord as their son Danny. They go stay at a hotel where he gets a job as a caretaker, which turns out to be haunted, and the evil spirits inside seem to want Danny's special psychic ability. They want his power, so Jack gets possessed and chases his family with an axe. Awesome looking ghosts, really great, eerie, ominous scenery and atmosphere, really grim, gloomy mood, excellent score. Stanley Kubrick was a genius. He was just an absolute master of cinema, and this movie is a testament to that. I absolutely love it. It came out in 1980. It's one of my favorite movies ever made. Probably my favorite haunted house, paranormal, ghost movie, easily. And Jack Nicholson's great. The whole cast is great. Of course, Scatman Crothers. Awesome. Like I said, awesome setting, awesome scenery, really haunting atmosphere, very, very bone-chilling vibe. The Shining. Excellent movie. And definitely my favorite horror movie for the letter S. Most people would probably say Scream, or like Seven, or Silence of the Lambs, if those count, or maybe even Saw, or Salem's Lot, or Sleepaway Camp. But my favorite definitely The Shining. All right, T is another no-brainer. Yeah, T is definitely for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Tobe Hooper's original 1974 masterpiece. Flawless filmmaking. Most of this actual scare is suggested. You have to use your imagination. It's not spelled out and spoon-fed like so many of these the horror movies today, with all the young kids saying, "This movie's boring. I want to actually see everything spelled out for me, so I don't have to use my brain." Yeah, like I said, a lot of the horror suggests that Gunnar Hansen's great as Leatherface. Tobe Hooper's directing, and kind of an amateur B movie feel is just stellar. Feels like has this like grainy documentary feel. It feels like something you'd be shown in like some kind of crime studies class in high school. It feels like a real crime caught on film, and it's very horrific and very gruesome. Because you really have to use your imagination, like I said. Yeah, a group of friends get stranded somewhere in Texas and get tormented by a family of homicidal cannibals, of course, including Leatherface, who wears a mask of human skin and wields a chainsaw. Yeah, one of my favorite horror movies ever made. Jameson Massacre is a flawless masterpiece, a solid 10 out of 10. I love it. It's definitely my favorite horror movie that starts with the letter T. Alright, so when it comes to U, the only horror movie I own that starts with the letter U is Uncle Sam. So I'm going to go with Us from 2019, directed by Jordan Peele. A really, really horrific, really scary movie with a really intricate premise. I thought the twist at the end was unnecessary. It didn't really make much sense, but like I said, it's a genuinely horrifying movie, and it's really, really good. I definitely suggest you check it out if you haven't seen it already. I actually like it a lot better than Get Out. Most people prefer that one, but I think Us was a lot better because it was more like a horror movie. It was very, very scary and very twisted. With some really funny moments as well. I really like Jordan Peele's style and really look forward to seeing more from him. And I think Us is his best movie so far. So, yeah. Us is my favorite horror movie that starts with the letter U. All right, V. There's a hard choice between John Carpenter's Vampires, which I really love, and the one I went with, which is going to have to be Vampire Lovers. I prefer this over Vampires by a hair, and weirdly enough, this is the only Hammer horror movie on this list, because, you know, I couldn't pick Horror of Dracula over Halloween. I couldn't pick Curse of Frankenstein over Child's Play, so, but I had to get at least one Hammer movie in this list. Because we have a couple Universal. But yeah, Vampire Lovers. Yeah, very, very sensual, very primal feeling flick. Yeah, of course, you got Ingrid Pitt, who, of course, plays a vampire, and the great Peter Cushing. Yeah, like I said, it's a very, very sexy movie, and very erotic, very chilling, too. Great gothic atmosphere. And some pretty bloody moments as well. Yeah, it was very groundbreaking for its time and very shocking for the time it came out. But I absolutely love it. I need to give this a review on its channel because it's excellent. Yeah, Vampire Lovers. Caution, not for the mentally immature. If you dare, taste the deadly passion of the blood nymphs. Vampire Lovers. Great movie. One of my favorite Hammer films. Probably my favorite Hammer film that's not a Dracula or Frankenstein movie. Alright, so for W, I'm going to go with the original, The Wolfman. It was between this one and Wishmaster. But Wishmaster is a very fun movie, very enjoyable. It was made for horror fans, but I'm going to go with this. It's a classic. Yeah, of course, you got Lon Chaney Jr., starring as the title character, Lawrence Talbot, who turns into a lycanthrope during the full moon. Yeah, that whole grim poem, yeah, when the wolf's bane blooms and all that. Yeah, really great atmosphere. Lots of scenes of the forest, yeah, covered in like mist and fog at night. Yeah, I love that type of thing. Of course, there's the Gypsy woman. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite Universal horror films. Yeah, the original Wolfman. Highly memorable classic. And my favorite horror film starts with the letter W. Alright, for X and Y, I guess X is going to be X-Ray from 1981, which I don't own yet. And Y is going to be You're Next, you know, that home invasion slasher movie from 2011, which I also don't own. I need to get those. Yeah, I need to get Q, the Winged Serpent, and Us, and X-Ray, and You're Next, because yeah, it feels incomplete without them. But whatever. Those are my choices. And finally, Z is for Zombie. The Dead Are Among Us. It's probably my second favorite Lucio Fulci directed movie next to The Beyond. Either this or City of the Living Dead. Yeah, great movie. One of my favorite Italian horrors. Really good looking zombies. Dawn of the Dead is a better movie. I think this one definitely has better looking living corpses because they really look like they've been dead and rotting for a while. I definitely prefer the more heavily decomposed zombies to the more like freshly dead ones. Yeah, I just think they're way more interesting. And yeah, the cast and characters aren't really anything too special, but it is definitely a very memorable scene where a zombie battles a shark underwater. Really cool. I still don't know how they pulled that off, but it's really cool. But yeah, Lucio Fulci's Zombie, one of my favorite Italian horror movies, and one of my favorite zombie movies. Absolutely love it. Check it out if you haven't already, because it's a great flick. Alright guys, well that's it for my for Hellhound's ABCs of Horror. Like I said, this is going to be a tag video. I'm just going to leave it open. If you want to make a response, feel free. Just let me know you did in the comments below. Or if you don't feel like filming a video, just let me know your choices are in the comments below. Yeah, let's talk about some great movies. What are your favorite movies, favorite horror movies for every letter of the alphabet? All right, guys. I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror and Metal channel. Till next time. Later.